welcome to the Lubegard Power Steering Training Presentation. My name is Tom Conroy, and I'm a sales manager for Lubegard. Joining me today is Pat Burrow, our Technical Engineering Manager. Pat will be leading the presentation today, and with that, I would like to turn it over to Pat.
Well, welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking about the most neglected fluid system on a car or truck, the power steering system. So let's get started. OEMs use limited availability and exclusive use requirements to drive customers back to the dealership for fluids and or service. OEM power steering fluids are tested and designed to meet specific fluid requirements and will perform well in the power steering systems they are designed to be used in. Lifelong viscosity stability with extended durability are requirements of current power steering fluids. Currently, there are 52 different OEM-specified power steering fluids listed in owner's manuals. Many of them are no longer available from any source. There aren't many OEM-required power steering fluids without an equivalent on the market. Knowing what you can and can't use will have a huge impact on your bottom line.
Thank you, Pat. Later in this presentation, we'll be talking about two Lubegard fluids that will cover the 52 different OEM power steering fluids Pat is referring to.
Well, thank you, Tom. Now, the specification system for qualifying OEM licensed power steering fluids is changing in ways that will increase the quality of licensed products, but at a much higher cost and limited availability. The genuine power steering fluids used by Asian OEMs and others are factory-specified power steering fluids that are exclusive to that manufacturer, like Honda and Acura power steering fluid, and are available only through their dealer network, making quality aftermarket power steering fluid available from automotive stores a necessary and popular item. OEM's use of power steering fluids has changed in the last few years, with electric motors driving hydraulic power steering pumps in some models, not the traditional belts and pulleys we are used to. Now, the natural evolution of these systems has created the need for special reduced viscosity power steering fluids designed for the e-pump systems that are used by some OEMs. Conversely, the required Honda Acura power steering fluid is much thicker power steering fluid and falls into a category of its own, making it unsuitable for use in other OEM power steering systems. Because of the technical innovations currently driving the industry, hydraulic power steering systems are being quickly superseded by electrically actuated systems that do not require the use of hydraulic pressure to assist steering. Power steering fluid is not going away. With consumers keeping their vehicles longer than any other time in our history, the need for quality aftermarket service solutions will continue to be a needed product in every service shop or automotive store.
As Pat mentioned, power steering is not going to be hydraulically activated on light trucks and passenger cars in the near future. Currently, over 95% of 2020 vehicles use electric motor actuated power steering, also referred to as EPS. There are a few different styles of EPS steering. Above on the right, you will see one example.
So what is power steering fluid? In most cases, power steering fluid consists of 85 to 95% base oil and 5 to 15% additive package. Because base oil is the largest component of the power steering fluid, it has the biggest effect on the performance of the fluid over the life of the power steering system. Now, there are basically three requirements of power steering fluid that determine the makeup of an OEM power steering fluid and help define what is required for an equivalent. The first one would be viscosity at 100 degrees centigrade. Newer fluids, with the exception of Acura and Honda, are reduced viscosity fluids for e-pump systems. The next thing you would want to consider is the type of base oil used. Conventional Group 1 through 3 mineral oil or full synthetic Group 4 base oil to cover all your options. 3, the color. Red power steering fluids are usually ATF. And in most automotive applications, if you have a power steering fluid that's red, it's also an ATF. The type specified by the OEM for that application. Power steering fluid can also be amber, it can be green in color. So you find a lot of variation in the aftermarket. One question that commonly gets asked is, why is it necessary to service power steering systems? Power steering fluid needs to be changed on a regular basis because it gets so dirty. Only in the last 10 years have OEMs recommended changing the fluid in power steering systems and now include the power steering fluid as one of their preventive maintenance requirements. Now, oxidation is typically not a problem in these systems, but the dirty environment under the hood quickly contaminates the fluid with dirt and moisture. Contaminated and or additive depleted fluid causes premature wear on pumps and other steering components, often causing hoses and rubber components to also deteriorate. As cars age, the hoses themselves start to deteriorate and come apart, adding to the dirt and debris that destroy these systems. Proper power steering fluid formulated to prevent this deterioration will extend the life of power steering fluid systems. What else will extend the life of the system and prevent comebacks? Natural hose and seal deterioration happening from the inside can make it difficult to determine if there is a problem or what the actual problem is. Particulate contamination from deteriorating hoses and systems that have been neglected for too long cause major post-service problems even when the system has been thoroughly flushed. Installing an inline filter on the low-pressure return line will reduce particulate contamination to alleviate pump damage and sticking valves. You can also reduce these issues just by using Lubegard Power Steering Flush and Protect Pack with Power Steering Protectant or complete high-performance power steering fluids from Lubegard. Complete synthetic power steering fluid. Lubegard's complete power synthetic steering fluid is the service solution for all European, North American, and Asian vehicles calling for high-performance synthetic power steering fluid. Honda fluid is recommended for Honda and Acura vehicles. Provides anti-wear protection far superior to original equipment fluid. Significantly reduces friction, provides more potent rust and corrosion protection, and extends the life of any power steering system. Protects hoses and seals, reducing the risk of power steering leaks. Lubegard synthetic power steering fluid reduces wear much better than OE fluids when directly compared in industry-recognized wear testing. Clear in color for use in all systems.
Lubegard's 23232. Above is a full compatibility chart to show you can safely use in all service regardless of fluid color.
Complete Acura Honda power steering fluid. Engineered specifically for 2007 and up applications that call for fully synthetic power steering fluid. Backwards compatible with older Honda and Acura vehicles. Flows properly in all foreseeable temperatures. 4 point is an indicator of this excellent capacity in this fluid. Reduces startup noise in cold weather conditions, a common complaint from Acura Honda owners. And superior anti-wear formula significantly reduces friction, provides more potent rust and corrosion protection, and extends the life of the power steering unit.
And with Lubegard and just these two fluids, you can cover 99% of all power steering fluid applications on the market today.
Lubegard power steering fluid extends life of the power steering system, eliminates power steering noises and whines, eliminates rack and pinion steering stiffness, efficient in hot and cold weather, cleans and frees sticky turbines and pumps, provides excellent rust and corrosion protection, inhibits fluid foaming and oxidation, safe for all seals and hoses, perfect for older high-mileage vehicles. Premium formula is compatible with all power and power-assisted steering systems. How do I service power steering systems? Many shops have service equipment to suck out and replace the power steering fluid, but never quite get all the used fluid. Any shop can perform this service with minimal equipment. The low-pressure return hose can be used to safely drain most of the fluid from the system. Adding a mild flush, like Lubegard Power Steering Flush, to the system prior to removing the used fluid will help clean and condition the system for new fluid. The ester technology in the flush helps condition and protect the hoses and rubber components in the power steering system. Many systems require power steering fluid, while others use an automatic transmission fluid. To extend the life of the new fluid, power steering, it pays to add a bottle of Lubegard Power Steering Protectant to condition seals and hoses and eliminate power steering noises and whines. Lubegard Power Steering Fluid Protectant eliminates power steering fluid noises and whines, eliminates rack and pinion steering stiffness, saves time, space, and money, restores additive content to worn out, tired power steering fluid, and enhances all conventional power steering fluids that can be used to enhance synthetic power steering fluid. Lubegard Power Steering Flush safely removes deposits and impurities, prepares system for new fluid, conditions and revitalizes seals and components, deters internal power steering fluid leakage from developing, may postpone or eliminate the need to replace power steering components, cleans, conditions, and prepares the entire system for replacement of worn components, and best of all, can be used with or without a flush machine.
Well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you, Pat, and thank you all for listening. If you need a fluid expert, we're only a phone call away. 1-800-333-LUBE. That is 1-800-333-LUBE.
Hey guys, thank you for participating. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to give us a call.